In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Hello everybody, how are you doing? We'll be doing great with the mercy and grace of Almighty Allah. My name's N.A. Saqib. Everybody knows about it. My viewers and the viewers of Genius Institute Lahore's platform actually know about my presence here in different tests. Today we are going to execute a mock test of a couple of students, and let's see how well they organize their answers in giving the answers for the questions being asked. So you know the format of the test. There is part 1, part 2 and part 3. Part 1 is a basic one, and part 3 is the more advanced form. Part 1 is a question about yourself, and part 2 is actually all about a topic of presentation. You've got to speak for 2 minutes continuously on one topic, and part 3 is a discussion kind of question answer session. So let's get started. See you shortly. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, dear friends. Now, as we have given you the introduction of today's mock test, we're going to hold the mock test of one of our students. May I ask you your name, please?
I'm Rubab Miraj.
Would you please hold your mic closer to your mouth, please?
I'm Rubab Miraj.
Okay, Rubab. As you know about the format of the test, part 1 is basic, part 2 is actually a kind of long turn, and part 3 is question answer session. So let's get started. Well, some customary questions. My name's N.A. Saqib. I'm your IELTS speaking module examiner right now, and I'm your trainer as well. Okay, Mr. Rubab, can I see your identification, please?
Okay, yes. This is my NIC.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Okay, Ms. Rubab Waqas. All right.
I go by Rubab Waqas Khan after marriage.
Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Let's start. Are you a student or doing a job somewhere?
Right now, I'm a full-time housewife. I'm not doing anything right now as in work. But yeah, I want to continue my educational career now.
You have got a lot of wonderful qualifications. So why don't you start working as a professional somewhere?
I have worked as a freelance educationalist, but I was unable to continue working as a full-time employee, because I was not able to make commitments, fulfill my commitments at home and at work, so I wanted to focus on my home as well.
Excellent. Where do you live?
I live in Taj Bagh.
Okay, that's a part of Lahore. I know about that.
Yes.
Would you like to say a few words about Lahore? Why do you love living in Lahore?
Lahore is beautiful. Lahore is green. It's lively. It's full of colors. And it's my city, so I love it.
Excellent. Okay, let's start the questions from the first section. Are your friends mostly your age or different ages, and why?
Most of my friends are my age. I used to have a friend who was a little bit older than me, but now she has gone somewhere else, so I'm not in contact with her. But now, 2 of my best friends, they're of my age.
Okay, do you usually see your friends during the week or the weekends, and why?
No, we see each other at weekends because they work. Both of them work. They have full-time jobs, so we see each other whenever they are free.
Are you a little confused because you're facing the camera for the first time, maybe?
Yeah, maybe the camera is putting more pressure.
Okay, it's all right. Don't take it serious. It's a kind of mock test only.
Okay.
The last time you saw your friends, what did you do together?
We went on a high tea. We went to get some food, and we had a very good time. We chilled for a bit, we talked, we shared a lot of gossips, and then we said our goodbyes and came back home.
And in what ways are your friends important to you?
They're very important to me, extremely important to me. I think mostly because they let me take a break from my everyday life. They let me be myself for a little while when I'm with them. I can be with them what I am not with other people. So they're very important. That's crucial to me.
Can you live with your friends?
Of course I can live with my friends, but
Who is more important to you, your family or your friends?
They're both important.
Now, what has got superiority in importance?
Obviously, my family has more superiority. My friends are very important to me, but I can connect to them over the phone or over the internet, but I have to live with my family at every moment.
Absolutely right. So thank you very much. Your part 1 is over. I'm going to give you the cue card now. You've been given already.
Yes, thank you.
You can make your points if you like for 1 minute. And then afterwards you have to speak for this topic for 2 minutes continuously. It's a long term, and you can brainstorm in 1 minute, please, if you like.
Okay. Okay, so I've already thought about it, so I can.
Okay, fine. Let's get started, please.
Okay, so it's about something that I've recently started, which is good for my health. What I've recently actually started is a detox from technology for a few hours every week. So every Sunday, I take 6 hours off from all sorts of technology. No TV, no internet, no phone. I turn off my phone and I don't watch TV or anything else. So I think it's very important for me. Mostly because it was affecting my eyes. It had very adverse effects on my eyesight. I wanted to kind of make amendments to that. And also because I think there's a lot of information on digital media out there, which sometimes is too much consuming and sometimes too much overwhelming for us. So it's very important to detox yourself from all of that, what is going on in the world. And to be with nature every Sunday, detox from technology, take 6 hours break, go in a park or maybe go on a walk, and just be with people I love, be with people I enjoy spending time with. I think that has very, very good effects on my health. It personally has very good effects on my health.
That's lovely. Would you like to say something more about you were talking about screen time.
Yeah.
You were enjoying the extended screen time. It affected your eyesight.
Yes.
And what other major effects it had on your personality?
Well, I think the kind of information you're consuming, you think a lot about it, and then you start thinking exactly like that. Your perspectives change, your outlook change, your attitude towards many things change. And I didn't like that. Maybe it's because sometimes there's a lot of negativity on digital media that we're consuming. And it makes you see only the cons of the world that is out there. And I just didn't want to be so negative. And so I think that detoxing from that has also helped me become more positive.
So you are also against sedentary lifestyle, you mean to say?
It's very, very, I'm totally against it. It's very bad for your health. You should not be sedentary, not at all.
Absolutely right. So your part 2 is over. Now part 3 is going to start and going to ask some more questions. It's lengthy answers are expected from you.
Okay.
And the question would be, how do people in your country feel about protecting historic buildings?
Okay, so I think when we talk about protecting historic buildings, there are two classes when we talk about such things. Two classes of people in our society. There are some who don't care about it at all. There are some who care about it a lot. When we talk about NGOs, people volunteering to help preserve historical buildings, they are working overtime to make changes to such places. But there are then people who give zero. Who are not actually bothered by what is happening to the historical buildings, if they get destroyed or not. And so I think it's very important to have awareness so that people know what historical places and what historical buildings mean to us. They are our heritage. They show what we came from, where we came from, what we have spent, what our ancestors spent on us, what they did for us. I think it's so very, very important.
No, absolutely. And do you think an area can benefit from having an interesting historic place locally? In what way?
Yes, they can. I think very, very important, because let's say if a place has, for example, a mazar of a saint in their place locality, they become famous for that, and I think they can benefit from it a lot. They can marketize their whole area around it. They can make their profits from them. They can make more business out of that.
And do you think? Or what do you think rather will happen to historic places or buildings in the future, and why?
Well, I hope they are saved, they are protected, but I don't have many hopes from the local people, or you can say the people who don't care about it a lot. But if the NGOs that are working to preserve it, if they do continuously do that, I think they will be able to. I think that it will be very good for us, because we all know, like the Ziyarat mentioned, Qaid-e-Azam Ziyarat mentioned, it was bombarded and it was completely destroyed. That's one biggest part of our heritage that is gone forever. However, they have made it again, but it's not going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. So I think
Right.
for the future generations, it's very important.
And how were you taught history when you were a child at school?
Well, I had a very good teacher of history when I was in school. She taught to us like it was tales and stories. She always told. She was never giving us lecture. She was always telling us stories, and that made it so interesting that I still remember what she told me. That I think that's very important for a teacher to connect to students at their level.
And are there other ways people can learn about history apart from the school, and how?
Of course, they can learn about it. The museum is a very big example of that. They can go to the museum and learn about history. But if they don't, I think our national television, the PTV, National Television Network, they should also make a few commercials or maybe some engaging serials about our history.
And last but not the least, you know that we are living in a technological era. You know that people are more mechanized. They are least interested in history and all these subjects. So, do you think that history would still be a subject of teaching in schools in the future?
I think yes, it should be. I don't know if it will be. I think it will be, because it's very important. Because we only go forward when we see what we have done in the past. When we always learn from our past, we have to see the mistakes, the good things that they did in the past, and we learn from it. We're always adapting and changing, so we have to know what we did in the past. So it's very important.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bob. You have spoken brilliantly well. I must say that you have got 7.5 or maybe very close to 8 band scores.
Thank you.
And in the future, inshallah, you're going to get, shortly you're going to appear in the examination and you will be given very handsome band scores. You know that there are 4 different, examiners criterion of assessment, and it's about fluency, pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. All 4 play a very crucial role. Each one is 25% of your band scores, so you have to be very touchy about making yourself correct in all 4 criterion, so that you may have a good and handsome band scores. Wish you all the very best of luck. I have found nothing mistaken or wrong, which could have minimized your numbers. Need a bit of more practice. Actually, you are talking after a long time.
Yes.
But if you have much more practice, you will engage your examiner in a brilliant manner. God bless you. Take care of yourself.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to see you shortly.